So welcome back for the evening practice. As a part of the preliminary checkups, make sure that you are having a comfortable position and free from the distractions, free from all the responsibilities, and while you are listening and practicing, you are not doing any other activities, whether watching the television or eating a food. Simply having a great faith and a confidence and believing in and motivating yourself to do nothing apart from motivating yourself to listen and practice during this half an hour time. And then spending a few minutes simply relaxing the entire body, finding comfortable and relaxed. And in doing so, you may take a few long breaths to feel relaxed. And if you find your mind is still restless, or if you find that your mind is not composed, then again you may spend a few minutes working with the sensations in entire body and relaxing. You may practice the 7 points body scan practice. It's aware of the top of this head, all around the head sensations, and then right hand, left hand, front part of the body, back of the body, right leg and the left leg. So scanning the body in these 7 parts of the body, just to relax and comfortable, and finding the moment here, stopping here. Once you find that you are composed or less distractions, simply bring your attention to be mindful of this rising and falling of abdomen. And aware of the rising and falling of abdomen. And if you are practicing continuously with these instructions for a couple of days, then it's much easier to be mindful on the rising, falling along with the breath. And by now you should be able to note, making a mental note as it takes place, synchronized with it. Ability to follow as well as ability to know as it rises and falls. By now you must be understood as well. You must have understood that practice of a meditation appear to be simple, but when we virtually physically doing it, it's quite a difficult one. So that is the reason we need to learn and practice. And the practice of meditation is like the learning to cycle. Initially we may not be able to cycle it properly. We may fall down again and again, but we will not give up learning to cycle. So we will stand up, and again we will try again and try again until we are able to ride the bicycle properly. Once we have known how to ride the bicycle, it's like we have known how to meditate. So meditation becomes one of the skills that will stay with us rest of our life. But having said that, if we are not mindful of our own lives, then again we will bump into the different problems, whether a problem from our own selves or a problem from the family members or relatives or job and so and so. So we will not be able to deal it properly. So practice of a mindfulness meditation is like you're riding a cycle, or you're cycling in the middle of the town where there are plenty of people walking around. And if you're not mindful enough, then you will be bumping into the different people, causing trouble to you and then trouble to others. So thus in a mindfulness practice in our life as well, if we are mindful of our life actions, we will be bumping into this people or that people, that family member, and causing a trouble, and we will not find the happiness. So the more we practice, the skill we become, and continuous practicing helps us to keep ourselves safe and then others safe as well. So once if you find that you are composed and relaxed, bring your attention to be aware of arising, falling, and spend few moments reflecting according with the previous instructions on how to be mindful of the abdomen rising, falling. And last night we have been practicing and experiencing the entire body along with the rising, falling. So when the abdomen rises, experiencing the entire body expansion, when the abdomen falls, experiencing the entire body contracts. So simply working on that for a few moments, rising, falling, rising, falling. As the rising, falling takes place, experiencing the entire body inflates and deflates along with the breath coming in and going out. So rising, falling. So tonight, not just experiencing the rising, falling and the expansion and contraction of the entire body, but mentally observing that formation of the rising and formation of the falling? Is it because the air coming in and going out, or the inflation of entire body and deflation of entire body is because the rising falling? To try to notice this rising falling, and along with the entire inflation and deflation of the body, which one is the cause and which one is effect between the rising, falling, and expansion and deflation of this body? What is the cause for what? Which one is cause and which one is results? But obviously, if you find that your mind is still restless and not concentrated and composed, you do not have to rush to know all details on it. But practicing, observation, acknowledgement, noting, and let go back to the primary object, rising, falling. So continue practicing in this way. If you cannot comprehend tonight's instructions, then you may go back to the previous instructions and working with that. Or simply aware of the rising and falling of abdomen along with the in-breath and out-breath, and experiencing and making a mental note as it rises and as it falls. Remember, if your mind is distracted, using the formula of accepting, observing, acknowledging, noting, and let it go and back to the primary object. And then make sure that there is no tension, any parts of the body, relaxed, focused. So now we will practice the loving kindness meditation. So relax yourself, loosen yourself, and aware of sensations in your body. And bring your attention to your hands, whatever sensations that you can observe in your hands without moving. Simply observe the sensations, the heaviness, cold, tightness, looseness, softness, whatever. And bring that attention to your heart, observing, feeling the beating heart. You may put your right hand on your heart or physically smiling to feel the connection with your heart. And as you feel the connection with your heart, generating loving kindness and compassion to yourself, may I be happy. It is not just a word that we are speaking out, but mentally feeling about this happiness from bottom of your heart. May I be well. May I be at peace. May I be free from sufferings, free from mentally suffering and physical sufferings. May I be liberated, liberated. Similarly, sharing loving kindness and compassion to all other sentient beings, starting from near dear one. Or you may bring into your mind a particular person that you want to share this loving kindness and compassion towards them. Bringing into your mind and sharing it, your goodwill, loving thoughts. May you be happy, at peace, free from sufferings. May the Buddha Dhamma Sangha bless you for good and happiness. And similarly, extending our love and compassion to the entire beings in this room, in this city, in this country on earth, in the universe. Whatever beings there are, visible or invisible beings, may they be happy, may they be at peace, may they be free from sufferings. So sending our loving thoughts and wishing well and happy. Now bring your attention to your hands, aware of sensations in your hands, and to your body, aware of sensations in your body, and slowly bring that attention to your eyes. When you hear the gong slowly coming out from meditation, and reflect for a few moments. Respect to the Buddha. Arahang Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhaṃ Bhagavantaṃ Abhivatemi Sawakhato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammaṃ Namasami Subhadibano Bhagavato Sāvaka Saṅkho Saṅkhaṃ Namami. Okay, everyone, so this is the end of our meditation tonight. I will be here a few minutes. If you have any questions, you're most welcome to post or share. Thusara, thank you, Thusara. Dhamma study, we learn a lot of new studies about the Buddha. We are looking forward to the next Dhamma lesson, Inara and Liara. Thank you, Inara and Liara. We will have next week the same Dhamma class, same time at 2 o'clock. I will send you a new link again for the study. Yeah, so I will be here another couple of minutes until 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes. So if any one of you who are listening, if you have any questions regarding the meditation, you can post, text now, so we'll reply you. Okay. So Nima Lama Sherpa, okay, thank you very much for listening and practicing. And Dharma Pia Barua, oh, thank you very much. Continue practicing as well. So it's been about 5 days. I've been focusing only on the primary object, using this abdomen rising falling. And you may find different compared to your if you have been practicing same method, you may find different in terms of the instructions, and these are instructions that I have experienced and that I have been practicing. So in accordance with my understanding and practice, I've been instructing and guiding on these meditation techniques. So if you find difficult or confused, you can you can post the messages and text me, so I can help you to deal with that. So I will be here. So anyone would like to write or questions, you're most welcome to ask the question on these, particularly the teaching on the meditation. So Gautam Salva, thank you. Suresh from Nepal. Suresh, I hope you are doing your the postgraduate studies going well. Okay, so practice makes perfect. The more we practice, it brings more understanding. If we do not practice, then it's not easy to understand. So in the meantime, we do have to have constantly checking our practice, whether are we following the right path or not. And a good way to check is always checking along with our own practice, as well as comparing with the Satipatthana Sutta and Anapanasati. When we compare with that, then we will be able to and extend our practice more. So any questions, you're most welcome to post. Tusara, can you focus on the nostrils instead of the abdomen? Certainly, yes, Tusara, you can. If you notice, in the past I was focusing on the breath at the nostrils, but later I changed it to the abdomen. Yeah, so you can use it. Although the Buddha didn't locate where the breath is, or where we should pay attention to. Yeah, and Buddha simply said in Satipatthana or in Anapanasati that parimukhang sating upattapetava, which means having a mindfulness at the front. And in this case, Abhidharma defines the parimukhang. Pari means around, mukhang means the face. So as a result, there are people, or there are a number of scholars define that the mindfulness according to the Buddha should start off from paying attention to at front of the face, and that normally takes to the nostrils as the starting ground. But again, there are other sources also says that parimukhang means at the front, which some people would classify it as in front of the chest, and some also will classify it just at the front of the face. But my understanding is that it is just at the front of us. Yeah, it's like face to face. Yeah? And then that is the reason I use the simile of like you are sitting in front of the mirror and looking at your sitting body. So, and that's how you are developing. So that's why breathing in and breathing out, when we practice, we shouldn't be located in any particular place. But because of our mind is not sharp enough, and our mind is still wandering around with the defilements, and as a result of that, it's very difficult to develop meditation. So as a result, meditation masters have developed the locations to practice the concentration meditation, and that's the reason why there are methods paying attention to the nostrils, in breath and out breath, at the nose, and then there are practices of rising falling of the chest, and there is also rising falling of the abdomen. And this is again all related to the breath coming in and going out. And then this is simply based on who feels comfortable paying attention to on which objects. And normally in the past I used to teach only paying attention to the abdomen. Yeah, and later on, because of people's temperaments and their behaviors are different, some people feel uncomfortable to pay attention to the abdomen. Then again, I introduce to pay attention to at the nose, and again, I do not ask or do not teach to one or another. I normally ask practitioner to choose which object is comfortable for them to pay attention to, and naturally mind just goes and settle down. So and that's how it's been practiced. Again, whether we start off at the nose or whether we start off from the rising falling of abdomen, this is all related to the breath. So it's up to your preference, rather than preference, it's up to your experience of choosing your primary object. And with this, once you have chosen, it's always good to work with it for significant time until you become familiar with that. Once you become familiar, and later you can change to other objects without any troubles. So that's why no problem if you find that you have you are okay with the nostrils, and if you've been practicing with that. Okay, I hope you understand that one. And further, Dharma Priya Barua. You are a great teacher for the redemption of the human from current situation in the world. Thank you very much for the feedback. Nice to hear your compliment. I'm not sure whether I am a good teacher, but thank you for the compliment. Thank you. Right, so another couple of minutes and then we'll end for today. So while I'm waiting or no one asks, just give you information from the temple and from the center here that we are having this renovation of the barn, simply hoping to use it as for the different purposes, particularly after lockdown eased or allowed the centers to, religious places to function. If possible, we will complete the renovation, and we will be able to use that. So with the keeping in our minds of the social distance, we will be able to have it there more easily. Whereas if here at the inside the cottage, it's very difficult to keep the social distance. That's why if we can finish that barn, then we will be able to use it properly. At the moment, we have probably spent about £2,000 buying all the materials, and the material, the plaster board, 9.5 thickness one, we bought it about 13 plaster boards, which we need actually 25, but we couldn't get it until now. So as a result, the work is slowing down. So I'm continuously checking from B&Q and other suppliers. So hope that they will supply it in a couple of days so we can buy and work on the roof. Once the roof finished, and it's much easier to do other jobs. And thank you, Paul, for bringing one window, and Eros and his friends also sponsoring one windows. So hopefully we will be able to install these 2 windows in the barn. And in the meantime, whoever would like to contribute or help, you're most welcome. And day before yesterday, we are also fortunate that our neighbor also donated 1 window and other materials as well. So we are receiving a few materials around. Gautam Salva, well, when in UK is evening, our meditation starts in India. It's around 12 o'clock in night. It's okay to meditate on this time? It's okay if it doesn't take your more time of your sleepiness, but if you feel comfortable to practice meditation despite of midnight in India, following the instructions, then you're most welcome to join in. And it's good to have same time as meditation, so you can practice as long as you're not tired yet. Okay, so if you're really physically tired, then I would not suggest you to wake up to do it. You can follow next day. But if you can manage to stay awake and continue practicing, why not? You can practice at any time, any moment. In terms of the practice, again, if you're a serious practitioner, the Buddha instructed us to practice day and night, having a sleeping time only about 4 to 6 hours, but the rest of other time we should be practicing like that. But we will not be going into that extreme. So Gautam, if you feel comfortable even after 12 o'clock and you are not sleepy yet and you are still energetic, then why not continue practicing? And thank you very much for spending that time, despite of midnight, you're following every day and listening to talks, and also joining chanting and practicing meditation together. So I really appreciate your time, and I hope that this is benefiting your practice. So you're most welcome to join and practice. Not only you, whoever listening from around the world, anytime, any moment, if you feel comfortable, then why not continue practicing? Okay, and also, any feedbacks if you want to give on your practice, you're most welcome to give feedbacks on how you're doing and what are the difficulties that you are facing in meditation. Again, you're most welcome as well. I will try my best from my knowledge to help you to grow in the spiritual path. Okay? And it is not just again on meditation, but again, if on a Buddhist subjects also you can ask, and I will try my best from my knowledge to reply you. Okay, right. Okay, I think it's past the 13 minutes, 18 minutes past the 8 o'clock evening now. So I thought that I was staying only for 15 past 8 o'clock, because it's been all day today. This regularly every day we normally have a chanting and meditation at 6 o'clock every day, and after that we will do our regular jobs. And Saturdays and Sundays particularly I will be busy morning after the breakfast about 8 o'clock. Again, straight away we'll be practicing meditation along with other members until 11 o'clock. And this Saturday afternoon we had teachings, Dhamma studies, so I was teaching, and then this. So this is our monk's life. Okay, right, I think it's enough for today, and I will end here with the 2020. Okay, so thank you everyone once again for listening and all the questions and all the feedbacks. With this, we'll see you tomorrow for the talk at 6:30 and chanting 7, and a practice of a guided meditation at 7:30. So we'll see you. Until then, good night, and may you be happy, peaceful. May the Triple Jinn bless you. Thank you.